You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
Yes, it is, Paul, and my name is Rob, in case you didn't know that. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode number 968.
Well played there, Rob.
We're glad that you're with us.
I had no idea that you didn't know that off the top of your head.
My mind is
Elsewhere.
focused.
So is mine. It's
my
cool.
mind is focused.
It's cool.
All right.
I lie to myself all the time, too.
Yeah. I just read an article that said by Mark Cuban.
Oh, one of my favorite people, not...
And anyways.
Well, actually, he is one of my favorite people. You know why? Because he's a sucker. You know, because, the whole... never mind. The whole Shark Tank thing, and then lying on cameras consistently. Yeah, anyway. All right, go ahead.
That's my fault. I brought it up.
Hey,
it's my fault. I apologize.
It's cool. You know
Anyways, what he said was entrepreneurs lie to themselves all the time, and and it's a good thing.
Is it, though, unrealistic optimism, though? That's the good part of about that?
I don't think it's unrealistic optimism. It's, I can do this. No, it's not unrealistic optimism. It's pushing through the really, really difficult stuff.
So is it like lying to myself, like saying I can do the splits in hot yoga? I can. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm way too fast.
I could not speak to that.
Damn you, Rob.
All right. Anyways, we don't want people frustrated that we're rambling on.
Hey, it's supposed to be entertaining and educational. That's why we call it infotainment. Okay, well, we'll get right into the question. I just want to give a quick shout out to our friends at GPC Cases. If you need a GPC case, we've got a discount code if you're a Drone U member, but otherwise check out GPC Cases because they're awesome.
Yes, they are.
Also, you know what? I want to give another shout out to Autel Robotics. Thank you for the Autel Evo drone. Really loving it. It's funny, my two favorite drones right now are the Autel Evo.
Mavic 2 Enterprise?
Yep. How did you know that?
I don't know.
It was funny. Can I tell you a quick
mind.
story? So I was having difficulty with Lance over this weekend and flying, and I got the authorization, but then I couldn't unlock the red zone in DJI, and I just pulled out my Autel Evo and flew the mission just fine because they believe in pilot responsibility. But I was in another area with the Mavic 2 Enterprise, and we were ending the class, and we had to be out of this particular area by 5 p.m., and I used the speaker as an intercom to kick everyone out of the park.
That's solid.
I'm resourceful.
Yeah, who knew? The many uses of the Enterprise.
Anyway, check out Autel Robotics and the Evo. It's a truly awesome drone if you are a commercial pilot and you need to fly where you need to fly, because it's all about pilot responsibility. But if you're not responsible with it, I'm going to kick you in the face. If I can find you. It's going to be hard.
You don't know who you're talking to here.
I'm kidding about kicking people in the face.
Okay, you're kidding. I didn't
Just
realize,
be responsible,
I didn't realize
people.
he was kicking or kidding.
He was
I'm going to play the
kidding.
question now.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Rob. Glenn, Aerial Camera Services here. Question of the day, discussion topic of the day is the use of the FAA logo on your website. Hi, I'm approved by the FAA. Okay, take it away.
So if you're not...
Wait. Hello, Glenn.
Hello, Glenn.
Thank you for the question. What's up?
Yes, if you don't know Glenn is actually Shaggy in the flesh, and he drives the Mystery Mobile.
I would love to have one of those.
He actually calls it the Scoob. I'm not kidding.
So now we don't know when you're kidding and when you're not kidding. He's not kidding about the
That's
scoop.
the whole idea.
I understand.
Anyway, Glenn is an awesome guy. He was at our Charleston mapping class. Really connected with him. He's actually one of my favorite students. Just open, willing to learn, comes prepared.
Good energy.
Great energy. Always, so much energy. We were gonna go out and have sushi, and he was like, "I don't want to third wheel it, man. Like, if you don't want me to go, I don't need to go." I'm like, I'm like, okay, I think we're just going to go hang out. But all right. Anyway, long story short, have you ever dealt with a competitor who is trying to showcase their credibility and authority by putting the FAA logo on their website, marketing material, or on their vehicle? Well, luckily, Glenn did not put it on his vehicle, but I have seen people putting the FAA logo on their website.
Oh, yeah. See it a lot, actually.
This is the quickest way to shut down your competition. You just give FSDO a quick call or the Office of General Counsel of the FAA and notify them that a person is illegally using the name and brand of the FAA, because it is completely 100% illegal to put the FAA logo on anything at all, period. Like, there's no exceptions. Okay, if you're a FAST team member from the FAA, I believe you can use the FAST team logo and the FAA logo when marketing classes that you're doing through the FAST team setup. But that's the only case that I know.
Putting you on the spot, where does one find this information that it is not allowed to use the FAA
It's actually
logo?
pretty common knowledge. It's on the FAA's website. It's like openly on the FAA's website. So if you have a competitor who's just kind of like a thorn in your side and they're doing this, this is the fastest way possible to shut them down.
Or you could be a good guy who's confident in your skills and just let them know that they're doing something they shouldn't do.
How you approach things is obviously Rob's strong point, not mine. But you know what? I always take the stance of always do the right thing. It's always the hardest thing to do, obviously, and being the nice guy is always the hardest thing to do. But if people act egregious and they go behind your back and they do things that you don't like and they're egregious and nefarious and not likable, then yeah, I call up my local FSDO and say, hey man, how's it going? Are you bored? And the answer is always like, no, I've got plenty to do. And I'm like, well, I've got a great compliance issue for you.
Yeah, I think also though, because you did say this is infotainment, so oftentimes the tough Paul
takes hold.
Here.
Mm-hmm. And what I would do in the real world
in
is
practice,
not so aggressive.
It's a little nicer than it comes across here. That said,
but I will say I try to be diplomatic, and sometimes it doesn't always come across like that, like in my email today.
So what can you do as a pilot? You can obviously put your certificate number on. I don't think they require that. Like some industries require in your marketing materials that you have your license number, for example. I guess it's not a license with the FAA, but you can put that you are a certified pilot and then put your number on there. I wouldn't
recommend you put your certification number out there, because I've seen a lot of people who have had their pictures of their FAA certificates copied and put on news articles and all this stuff, and then people have been using that certificate number and getting airspace authorizations with it. So I would actually not recommend that. Yeah,
so what would you do to suggest that you are
if a company needs verification, just say, if you want to see my license, I'll show it to you, but I'm not putting it out in the public forum.
Okay, but you can still say something on your site, for example, and then let people ask, but at least let them know that you're certified, right? Don't make them guess. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just don't use the logo. You can say FAA-certified pilot. It's funny, though, whenever I do a presentation, I always teach everyone who's hiring drone pilots, I always say, first question, are you, a certified remote pilot? And then if they say yes, I say what you should be doing is pull up the drone pilot registry or the FAA's pilot registry. And then you can look up that person's name and then see exactly if they are or are not a licensed pilot. Right. But then I always teach my audiences, and I've actually been doing some big talks. One of them, I always say, you should ask them if they have an annual insurance policy. And I used to say, make sure they have insurance. But now I say, do they have an annual insurance policy? Because something that I've been noticing at our trainings is, like, for example, we had a couple people use Skywatch, which is actually a really good service. Mm-hmm. And if you get the monthly option, I think it's like $67, and you get whole insurance for that, which is like the deal of the century, by the way. But what I'm noticing is a lot of people forget to initiate their insurance. So with Skywatch, if you have the monthly plan, it just covers you for the month. You don't have to remember, but you have to remember the next month.
Right.
So maybe you put it in your monthly maintenance schedule. I don't know. But I always tell and instruct our audience to say, do you have an annual insurance policy? And they're like, well, why do you ask that? And I said, because people are really forgetful and people get really excited when they're flying drones around clients, and chances are they're going to forget to initiate it. So you always want to make sure that they have an annual insurance policy so they can provide a certificate of insurance at any given time to the client. And I mean, even this weekend with our Dallas location, you know, that COI is pretty easy to just print out and say, here you go.
Sure is.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Can you, on Skywatch or whatever, Verifly, can you schedule in advance?
I think
So,
you
like,
can
flight
actually.
planning of sorts?
I'm pretty sure you can. I think now don't quote me on this, everyone, but I'm pretty sure you can. In that detailed message, that detailed video that we did on insurance, I went over that, and I have screen recordings so you can see. But again, you know, for everyone living up north, I totally understand the value of Skywatch.
Absolutely.
But living in the desert Southwest, annual policy.
Or, yeah, I mean, you can understand it in various contexts, or just people that are trying to get into the business and it's sort of a side gig still. I mean,
True.
there are obviously reasons that people would do that, but
True.
I can hear what you're saying as well. I hadn't really thought about that.
True.
That people just forget and then they're not insured.
And that sucks to suck.
And everybody's at risk, not just the pilot.
True dat.
Cool.
All right. Well, anyway, that is going to do it for us today. If you have a question, go to askdroneu.com. Upload that question. We've been doing some short shows because we've been hanging out in Silicon Valley. We went over to the Pix 4D office, Kitty Hawk office, some other people, saw some friends.
was a good time.
Learned that San Francisco is not for me. Great city to visit, though. Man, it's gorgeous.
Cool place. It really is.
It really is. But anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks again for watching. Please leave us a review. And if you feel like we're providing valuable information, don't be afraid to share it with a friend.
And subscribe, please. That helps.
We definitely, actually subscriptions on YouTube have been skyrocketing. So
Thank you.
really excited about that. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you again for watching. My name is Paul.
My name is Rob.
This is Ask Drone U.